Raymond Duke here, and I'm a sales funnel copywriter. People hire me to help them sell more products and services using words. I help people who are thought leaders, people who are authors, entrepreneurs. I help them sell more stuff, grow their audience, make more sales. And I also help people who want to write become successful freelancers. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get fans and customers to write copy for you, so you don't have to. Okay? This is a lot easier than you think to get ideas for writing copy on social media. One of the big problems is thinking about like, oh, I got to write 10 updates a day for my client. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. What do I do? That's a frustration, I think, that you're going to be going through as you get more clients for your social media agency. But what I'm going to talk to you about right now is how to get ideas from your fans and from your customers, so they essentially will write the copy for you. Okay, so it's a three-part process. The first two parts I've kind of talked about in previous videos, but I want to cover them just a little bit more in detail, so that way you know how this process works and how everything I've talked about so far ties in together. And eventually, in step 3 of these 3 steps is where the magic happens. That's where everything comes together, and you're going to start seeing more engagement, more comments, more likes, and from there it's just a matter of reading what people say and reflecting it back, and that becomes your content. Okay, so that was just an overview of the process. I'm now going to talk about steps 1 and 2, and then step 3 is, like I said, where the magic happens, where things start coming into place, things start working. So step 1, when it comes to getting your fans and customers to writing copy for you, is to first identify what they want. Okay, you're not going to get anywhere without knowing what your readers want, knowing what they want to read, knowing what they cared about, knowing what they're into. Are they into sports? Are they into local events? Are they into nonprofits? There's a million things out there that they can be into, but you have to first identify that and figure out what those things are. So that's the first step. Like I said, it's pretty simple, and I've talked about that in another video, but that's where it all starts off. That really is the core of any copywriting that you write. That's where it all starts. The next step, once you identify what people want, is you give them what they want. Okay? So in the example I gave about going on Yelp and looking at comments, you're going to read what people want. You're going to read what they care about. You're going to read what they don't want. Okay? And once you know that, you can write in such a way that gives them what they want. If they're asking questions or they have concerns or thoughts, those are things that you can use to create content. So instead of trying to think of content on your own, think of what to write on social media, think of what to post about, you can just look at what people want and then give them what they want. Do some research. Look at other pages that are popular in the niche that you're writing for. Okay, so if you have a small business and they're perhaps a surf shop or something like that, look at other surf shops. See what they post about. See what they post about that gets high engagement. See what people want. Because if you use that as a base, then you're just going to get better, because you're using that as like a step up. Instead of starting from the bottom, you're starting a step up, and you can work your way up from there. Okay? So like I said, those are the first 2 steps. They're kind of brief and simple. Find out what they want, give them what they want. And step 3 is to pay attention to what feedback you get. Pay attention to your fans and customers. As you start to get engagement, you start to get comments, you start to get shares, you start to get sales. As these things happen, you're going to get feedback from people, right? And you have to pay attention to what they're saying, what they tell you, what comments they leave, how they speak to you, the phrasing that they use in your comments and in your retweets and your shares. Those words and how they phrase things, how they comment, how they speak is gold when it comes to writing copy, because that is where you pull your ideas. That is where you understand what your market is thinking about, okay? And if you know that, that is how you get your fans and customers to write copy for you, because they're literally responding to the writing that you're doing. So, to recap, find out what they want, give them what they want, and pay attention to what they're saying. So what's going to happen as you do these 3 things is you're going to get feedback, like I said. Another thing that's going to happen is you're going to get praise, okay? Because frankly, if you give people what they want, they're going to thank you for it. They're going to say thank you for this update. And perhaps you are helping out a small business that's a bakery. And one of the things that you've identified that people want is a good, healthy recipe for cupcakes or something like that. I don't know, I'm making this up. But let's just say, for example, you've identified that what people want is a good, healthy recipe for cupcakes. So what do? Step 2, you give them what they want. You post, hey, fans and followers, today we'd like to share this healthy cupcake recipe. Boom, you paste the recipe, you give them tips, whatever. Okay, so just by doing that, you've identified what they wanted, you've given them what they wanted, you're going to get thank yous, you're going to get praise, you're going to get good feedback. And then from there, you can use that good feedback to create more content. If someone says, thank you, you're the best, I love your shop, I'm there every single weekend, that can be an update, that can be a review, that can be a testimonial. So the point here in the whole big picture idea is to take the content that people are giving you, take the feedback, take the engagement, and use that to write copy to create more content. So keeping that in mind, you're going to get praise, but another thing that you're going to get is complaints. You're going to get negative feedback. It's just a matter of it's not physics, but it's like kind of like physics because it's just a natural process, right? The more people people who like you, the more you're going to attract people who dislike you for whatever reason. Even the most positive person in the world is going to have people who dislike him or her. It's just the way it is. But instead of thinking about it as negative, what you can do is actually pay attention, first of all, because maybe the negative feedback is pointing out a problem. Maybe someone's complaining about the fact that they can't call your business because the number is always busy. Maybe you have a problem with your website. Okay, so that's the first thing to think about. First, consider the fact that maybe some of the negative feedback that you're getting is actually a good thing because they're pointing out a problem. They're pointing out something that's wrong. So that's one thing to consider. The next thing is that negative feedback and haters and complaints, you can actually use that to create more content because first of all, you can use that as a way to talk about the things that you care about and the things that you don't care about. If someone's complaining about that you're not open on Christmas, you can say, hey, we own a family business and we believe in our family first. So yes, we're going to be closed on Christmas. So that's a way of taking a stand based on, quote unquote, negative feedback. So that's something to keep in mind, that whenever you're identifying what people want, you're giving them what they want, you're going to get feedback, you're going to get comments, you're going to get things that are positive, things that are negative, but you should always look at the feedback that you get as a way to enhance what you're doing and to create content, because what better way to get inside the minds and thoughts of your audience than to listen to what they're saying and reflect it back to them. You can never go wrong if you're writing about things people care about. If you're writing about the number one thing that people care about most, which is themselves, as long as you stick to that principle, you're never going to fail. So, as a closing thought to this, now that you know this three-step process of identifying what they want, giving them what they want, and paying attention to the feedback that you get, the reviews, the complaints, whatever feedback you get, and you use that to create more content, what you're going to be doing is letting your fans and your followers create content for you because you're giving them what they want and they're going to give you feedback. And you can use that, okay? So again, as a closing thought and also as an action step, what could you do right now, given that I told you exactly what to do, the exact three-step process, what could you do right now for either a small business client that you have, or maybe you don't have a small business as a client yet and you're thinking about the types of clients that you want to help out? Either way, write out below how you can use this process, how you can imagine it working for you. Write out a scenario, write out some copy, write out an advertisement, write out an update. Just let yourself be free and write, because the more you write, that's how you get ideas out there. And feel free now to go down below in the comments and write out how you would use this three-step process to either help a client that you're working with right now, or a potential client that you're looking to help out soon. So once again, my name is Raymond Duke, a sales funnel copywriter. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you soon.